Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now June 5th of 2022, and not only are we getting very close to Disney Plus Day, it's just a couple of months out where Disney and Lucasfilm are going to announce another handful of new Star Wars TV shows, a lot of which will be both animated and live action material. Now, in case you guys did not know, that is their overall end game right now, is that they want to really make announcing new Star Wars projects into separate phases, essentially. They had Star Wars Celebration, they had Disney Plus Day, then in November they're going to even announce more when they make that earnings call, and then in Star Wars Celebration of 2023, which by the way is in April, is going to be another point in time where they announce other Star Wars shows. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, it is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about Disney Star Wars is that essentially what's happening right now is that they really are trying their absolute best to revive a lot of Star Wars Legends material. And what I mean by that is that they're really trying to really bring in a lot of the highlights of the series. So we have a lot of elements from the Thrawn trilogy, the new Jedi Order books, and Shadows of the Empire becoming a part of the Ahsoka Tano TV show, and other Star Wars shows out there as well. Now, we already know that both Favreau and Filoni are working heavily on a series of new Star Wars shows, and one of which, of course, is going to be a game changer. And we talked about this lightly about a week or two ago. It is actually currently dubbed simply as the Circle of the Wills. And we're going to tap into exactly why it is really going to be a game changer, and why it really does open up great gateways to the Star Wars material. Now, with that being said, of course, what's really exciting is that with many new Star Wars projects in the works that are currently under development, creators Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are beginning to work on a handful of new Star Wars TV shows that are actually set to revive many Star Wars Legends stories. However, one project in particular that is already in development is said to be a series currently dubbed as the Circle of the Wills, that will be treated as a live-action anthology series that will act as a live-action version of Tales of the Jedi, focusing on different eras of Star Wars instead of strictly prequel trilogy characters. Now, this series is set to focus on over 10 Star Wars stories that takes place at different points in time, with each episode being 1 full hour. Now, one part of this story is already being pre-planned to feature both characters, such as showcasing the fans known as Palpatine and Darth Plagueis, to show fans the point in time where Palpatine turns to the dark side under Darth Plagueis, and of course his teachings, to eventually showing fans for the very first time in live action form of Palpatine destroying his master in his sleep. Now, it's said that one whole episode of the Circle of the Wills will tell fans the story of Palpatine falling to the dark side and eventually destroying his very own family, including his father, who is actually set to be, of course, inserted into the show. Now, Palpatine is set to be recast by Favreau, with using actor Bill Skarsgård, who played in the It movies as Pennywise the Clown, who will portray a young version of Palpatine destroying his father, and of course, eventually, Darth Plagueis. Storyboards have already been made for the anthology series ahead of time, and that these storyboards are already finalized for the scripts. Favreau is described to focus on both lighthearted stories and very dark and gritty stories in the new anthology series that is set to show these different stories that will be told by the Wills, who are godlike creatures. Let me stop right here for a second. Now, in case you guys are not really all that familiar with what in the world an anthology series really is. So basically, each and every story is going to be dedicated to its own. Each and every story will be something completely different, and I actually love that. I don't know about you, but I think that's why Tales of the Jedi is going to be very and wildly successful as an animated series. But this one in particular is going to be a live-action anthology series. And we already talked about how, you know, they are already pre-planning to do something very similar with the young Luke Skywalker TV show, of how that too will be an anthology series where each and every episode is going to be a completely different story, where you don't really have to follow each and every episode to really get caught up with anything. And I think that's what's going to create more audience, a bigger audience, I should say, a wider audience to actually tune in. Because a lot of people can just watch episode 4, episode 5, or 3, whatever have you, at any point in time or in any order. And I think it's going to be a very interesting format that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are currently putting together. Now, moving forward from that, alright, actor, of course, Peter Cullen is already set to narrate the series as one of the Wills, who will tell the stories of one such as this, where actor Bill Skarsgård is very excited to portray the role of Palpatine. Now, essentially, as of now, this is Lucasfilm's plan to experiment with key live-action sequences of fan-favorite characters to see how fans react, and it will, of course, open the possibility of dedicated TV shows to those characters as the big endgame by Lucasfilm. Now, Dave Filoni is described to also be a part of the series that will also tap into the Palpatine episode, with Sith training to be seen for the very first time in live action. This is all intended to be released by the end of 2024, that will roll into the beginning of 25, and that they are planned to begin filming the series by the end of 23. Now, writing is set to begin by the end of this summer, with all the storyboards already nearly complete and finalized for the script. Now, currently, Jon Favreau is, of course, trying to find somebody to portray Darth Plagueis in the new Star Wars show, and already has over 5 choices to play Darth Plagueis, with the last and final resort, to make Plagueis CGI. Favreau, however, wants to make Plagueis as a practical thing in the series. Now, the thing about this that's extremely important to know is that everything related to what Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are putting together with this series, the Circle of the Wills, which I've said this before in the past, I think it's loosely based off of the Circle of Willis, which is like the vascular system in your brain, but everything related to the Circle of the Wills, who are gods among the galaxy and among the entire universe. These are characters that were created by George Lucas first back in 1977. And originally he wanted to expand on all of that. In case you guys did not know, the Wills were supposed to be a big part, originally speaking, for the Clone Wars. Alright, so Lucas really wanted to make that a big deal. Now, we got something like the Wills in the Clone Wars, but it really wasn't the Wills like we think. So, everything related to this one series in particular, it is going to be over 10 episodes. It is going to be 1 full hour each. We're not talking about 48 minutes. We're not talking about 55 minutes. They want to make it 1 full hour per episode. No jokes around. That's what they want to do. So that, to me, just goes to show you that this really is going to expand all of the beloved Star Wars characters to have different stories of their own, kind of really testing the waters of what works and what doesn't work within one Star Wars show. Honestly, I think it's clever, I think it's brilliant, and I think it's a great way to actually show the fans, hey, this might work, this might not work. What do you guys think? That's what they're doing. So overall, guys, let me know what you guys have to say about all this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Night to moon, we hear them moans again.